Welcome back to the Deep Six Wrestling Podcast. It is Saturday, May 28th, which means tomorrow. Tomorrow's the big day. AEW Double or Nothing. They return to Las Vegas for their 3-year anniversary, this time at the MGM Grand Arena. A very big crowd. This follows up their past 2 nights of live action, I guess, with Dynamite on Wednesday and Rampage on Friday, as well as the fan fest that was going on with AEW Dark tapings and whatnot. So this is our big preview prediction show. We'll try to keep it concise and not too overly long, especially because this is coming out hours before the 29th. So if you're listening on YouTube, be sure to leave a like and comment on the video. Let us know who you think is going to win at Double or Nothing. What matches you're looking forward to. Whatever you want to do, feel free to do so. If you're listening on any of the podcast feeds, we are streaming on basically any podcast streaming service you can think of. Be sure to subscribe. If you're listening on Spotify or Apple, please be sure to leave a review, a rating, if you will. It helps us, helps with the algorithm, and helps our podcast grow. Woo. And if you're not subscribed on YouTube, please consider doing so. We are closing in on 150 subscribers, thanks to us posting more content on YouTube lately, including our full coverage of the New Japan Best of the Super Juniors tournament that I have somehow managed to keep fully up to date with, and have been putting out episodes one by one covering the entire tournament. This is the first time ever I've watched the entire Best of the Super Juniors tournament. Fairly exciting stuff. So check that out. There's a whole playlist with all of the videos in chronological order that you can check out, and it is pinned towards the top of our channel. That being said, if you're new here, I'm Pat, and I'm joined by not the Deep Six Wrestling Champion, he's not here, former Deep Six Wrestling Champion, and our cat who is playing with our metal reusable straws, but you can introduce yourself.
I'm Ryan.
Anything else?
Nope.
Okay.
That's it.
Yeah, alright, so we're just going to go into our predictions. We don't have a punishment for this pay-per-view as of yet, but
Hey man, I suggested a good one.
we are not doing that. We are not whipping each other.
Well, we've got all these belts.
Yeah, you need to take upstairs.
No, they don't fit me.
Oh, okay, so those
That's why they're in the pile.
Gotcha, okay, they need to donate. Gotcha. Thrilling conversation here.
Yeah.
We haven't mentioned it on the podcast yet, but tomorrow, before the pay-per-view, Angelo, we will be having our first punishment video come up on the channel this week for the first time in I genuinely don't know how long.
It's been a while.
Angelo will be doing a mukbang from WrestleMania, right? This was WrestleMania that he lost? Or
I
was it the
don't
Rumble?
even remember.
Maybe Revolution.
I think it was Rev.
I don't remember what the punishment was for WrestleMania.
Honestly, I don't remember if we had one.
We definitely did. But we have a mukbang that will be coming to Angelo, where we've all chosen items that he will be eating or drinking or putting together. And we'll see how that goes. Last time he did this in 2019, it did end with him vomiting after drinking some Maltagoya.
Can confirm no Maltagoya involved this time.
What a shame. I was really hoping for it. I was hoping for the, what was it, the flavor? The tamarind?
Tamarind nectar.
Yeah, that sounds delicious. Alright, that has been 3.5 minutes, so we're just going to dive in here. We're going to get started. We have a long pay-per-view to discuss.
Too long.
I don't know if I'd say too long. Again,
there's a few of these matches that did not need to be on the show.
maybe not the main show. Like,
maybe not any. Maybe Dynamite or Rampage.
The only match I see on here that should have been on like Dynamite or Rampage is Darby and Kyle.
I'd also throw House of Black and Death Triangle
No, I
because
don't.
they've had that match on Dynamite and Rampage before.
Not the full trios match.
Have they not?
No, this is their first time actually meeting because the last time they met was at the AEW Revolution kickoff, but Phoenix was injured, and that's why they had Eric Redbeard.
Right, yeah.
So
I forgot about that.
this is their first time actually meeting 3-on-3 with the full teams. So that kind of makes sense that this is on pay-per-view.
I guess.
So we're gonna dive in here, and we'll just go. So our one buy-in match. I was shocked that nothing got moved to the buy-in, although I mean there's still time, I guess. Hookhausen makes their in-ring debut against the team of Tony Nese and Smart Mark Sterling. Everybody has gone for Hookhausen except for Hot Take Jake, everybody's favorite Tony Nese Mark. He has a very soft spot for this man from when me and him used to watch 205 Live religiously in college together, and Tony Nese was one of the stars. Is it the MJF thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Do you want to share with the audience?
Yeah, apparently MJF was supposed to go to the Fan Fest today for AEW. AE did not show, and apparently AEW is not able to, has not been able to get in contact with him all day.
I saw reports that he was at a casino.
Oh.
I also saw that Samoa Joe didn't show up to the Fan Fest.
Interesting.
So, I don't know if there was... And there was apparently a report that the Hardys were not going to make it, but then they did show up. So I don't know if it was just travel issues for people.
Gotcha.
Or what. But no, travel issues wouldn't make sense because they've been in Las Vegas all week.
Yeah.
So, and, could be sick, could be anything. Could just be MJF being MJF. I guess time will tell. Anywho, so the consensus here is everybody that did predictions went for Hookhausen except Jake. In a somewhat shocking turn of events here, we have our mixed trios match, which is American Top Team, Ethan Page, Scorpio Sky, and the debuting Paige VanZant versus Frankie Kazarian, Sammy Guevara, and Tay Conti. The stipulation, and it was clarified today, so I do feel a little more confident in my pick, that the stipulation that Scorpio put out is, on Dynamite he said that if they lose, they can never challenge for the TNT Championship ever again. It has been clarified that it's ever again while he's champion. So I do feel more confident in my pick with choosing American Top Team because I feel like we can end Sammy and Frankie going for the belt right now. And then, again, because let's be real, Frankie Kazarian probably isn't going to get world title shots, but TNT title shots in the future, that's kind of where I feel like his ceiling is.
Yeah.
And Sammy right now, again, one day Sammy could be like a main event guy, but still, for the time being, feels like mid-card. So I was expecting this to be a little more split, but we have another island pick here. The first three matches we have people on islands. Do you want to guess who's on the island for this one? It's not Jake.
What match is it? I'm sorry.
The Trios match?
Yeah. Angelo?
No.
Oh.
It's Sam. Sam has gone for Frankie Kazarian, Sammy Guevara, and Tay Conti. The rest of us have all gone for American Top Team. I just feel like, puts an end to this feud. I think
this feud needs to be over.
Feud needs to be over.
I am lost on who I am supposed to cheer for.
Everybody is. Listen, the crowd was booing this whole thing.
Yeah.
So.
They were cheering Scorpio once he revealed the belt.
And then they booed once he said that, about the match.
Yeah.
So, again, they've ran it into the ground and and Scorpio can drop this title to Miro when he comes back.
Yeah.
Or Cesaro if he debuts ever.
Yeah. I mean, I'm perfectly fine with Scorpio having a lengthy run. Just don't confuse everybody. Don't have everybody being heel and then randomly throw in Frankie Kazarian who doesn't fit Sammy and Ty at all.
Well, that's why they can lose. They're not a cohesive unit, whereas American Top Team is.
And their segment of breaking into the ATT building yesterday was absolutely awful, with it just being a total mess of Sammy and Ty being, hey, let's have sex in other people's belts. And them being like, oh, this one looks cool. I don't know whose it is, but let's just
I didn't have an issue with the segment. My issue with the segment is this whole feud has been a mess. I thought the segment on its own, if these were your baby faces, This would get babyface reaction from most people.
It also just doesn't make any sense why Frankie, whose character is basically like they hint at his character from like BTE, where he's just like, oh, I hate the vlogs, I hate like all these millennial people like doing all these things, I hate Sammy and Ty being all like cringy in love.
It's just that he's.
But then he's like, you know what? I'm just gonna hang out with them and fly across the country to.
I think you're looking too deep into this. It's the enemy of my enemy is my friend. He's teaming with them so he can take down Scorpio, who betrayed him. Makes sense.
No.
Oh, okay. Anywho, pretty concise victory here that we all think American Top Team except Sam.
Yeah.
And that sends us into our other match here, Kyle O'Reilly versus Darby Allin, which the storyline here is Darby wanted a match after Kyle brutalized Sting and said that if Kyle didn't accept, then he would interfere in all of the Undisputed Era's matches. Or not Undisputed Era, Undisputed Elites matches, I should say. And so this is official. Do you want to guess who's on the island for this one?
For Darby versus Kyle?
Yes. Knowing that you chose Darby, you know that everybody else except one person chose Darby.
Okay.
So who do you think chose Kyle O'Reilly?
I'm going to go with Angelo.
It was Rob.
Oh.
It was Choo Choo, as he put his name in.
Yeah. All aboard the Choo Choo Express, baby.
Yeah, apparently.
Bro, Choo Choo is goated.
Sure.
You don't even have to like baseball to like Choo Choo.
I don't know about that. Yeah, I don't know. I would like to see Kyle get a big pay-per-view win, but he's still, presented as a tag team wrestler for the most part. I mean, he did go to the semifinals for the tournament, but I still just feel like, Darby comes back here, gets a big win. Yeah, so that's why I chose Darby.
Yeah. Honestly, I feel like they always want to position Darby really well.
Yeah.
And him losing to a tag team guy who's been wrestling very grueling matches weekly, basically.
Yeah, that's my thing, is that he just had this match with Joe.
Yeah.
So coming into this, he's not going to be 100%. So I feel like Darby gets the win.
Yeah. And even his first round matchup, I think, was pretty, against Phoenix, was pretty grueling too.
True. Okay. TBS Championship match, Ryan. I'm looking at this, and you did not go with who you said you wanted to win, so you chose who you think is going to win, but not who you want.
Yeah, I chose Jade. Again, just thinking about how there has been no story, and I totally forgot that Anna already challenged Jade already.
One of Jade's better matches, too.
Yeah. This was another match where I was like, this could have just been on a Rampage.
No, because you wanted the titles on the pay-per-view, so this would have been buy-in for me. I think this should be buy-in.
I mean, I think the caliber of this storytelling should have been on a Rampage or Dynamite, just because there was no story. The story is Jade beats somebody who Anna thinks is her friend, and so Anna came back and immediately gets to fight her because she's been training with Ruby and Chris.
They needed a challenger. And to be fair, Jade's been just kind of doing whoever wants a title shot gets one.
Yeah.
So it's not really that big of a deal.
Yeah, I just don't see her... I think Anna would have been a good challenger down the line to take the title off, but I don't know. I just think that if you want to make... like, Jade's title reign should end eventually, and this undefeated streak should end relatively soon, I think. I do not think somebody needs to go 30-0, especially when they are still...
She's 30-0.
Again, as I was saying, nobody should go 30-0 and still look pretty damn green.
I think she's improved massively. Her last two matches were against Tay Conti, who's also pretty green, and Marina Shafir, who's really green, and both were pretty good.
I did not enjoy her versus Marina Shafir at all.
I think it over-delivered in spades.
All right. I mean, that's up to you. I mean, it's subjective, but I thought it was meh. And her and Ty was good, but I mean, I wouldn't say Ty's green.
The only Tay Conti match I've seen, a singles match that I also thought was really good, was her versus Sheeta, which is more likely she was helped by Sheeta. So, I have Jade. I don't think Jade's losing this title anytime soon. I don't think she should either, personally. She's gotten very over with the crowds as a heel, She's gotten babyface reactions in some towns.
Which makes no sense.
People like her. It's fun to see a rookie improve before your eyes. She's a great promo.
She's a very good
and
promo.
And when she debuted, she was a horrible promo against Cody. Now she's one of the best promos they have in the women's division. Probably the best promo they have in the women's division. More consistent than Britt. You have the baddie. She's helping to give Kiera Hogan and Red Velvet more TV time.
Yeah, but they're not credible.
They don't need to be right now. They're just her lackeys. Everybody doesn't need to be a top challenger. They're just her tag team partners. What do you want? They're not going to challenge her for the belt.
No, but
they don't have tag team titles for the women.
No, my thing is you shouldn't just have people who are Red Velvet. I would say has more experience than Jade.
But she's not as big of a star as Jade.
Because she's pretty bad. Kiera Hogan is much better than both of them.
I don't think I would say that.
I would say so.
I don't think so.
She was fantastic in Impact for years.
I don't know if I'd say fantastic. As a character, sure. Not as a wrestler. She's good. She's not fantastic.
I would say compared to Jade, she is fantastic.
I don't agree with that.
She could run circles around Jade. Jade is not good.
I don't agree with that sentiment whatsoever.
That's fine. You can have your own opinion. I've made it very clear. She botches very much. Her moveset makes zero sense. And her finisher, she botches 9 times out of 10.
That's just not true. She botched with Ruby, and that's it.
She botched with Ruby. She botched with Anna originally. She botched with Ty, almost dropping her on her head, if I remember correctly.
I don't think that's true whatsoever.
I don't remember the finish with her and Marina because I just tuned out of the match because I didn't like it.
Okay, well, anyway, the majority of people chose Jade Cargill here, the only person, so we have another island pick. It's Jake. Jake has gone for Anna Jay. So I guess Jake is going full send here. That sends us to our trios match with Death Triangle taking on House of Black. Finally, a split match here. We have Angelo, myself, Rob, Ryan, and Joey going for House of Black. Sam and Jake have gone for Death Triangle. Just feels like House of Black need a big win, so I've gone for House of Black.
They need a win against people that are credible. Again, most of their wins have been against a team with Fuego.
I mean, they beat Dark Order. Again, I don't know what you wanted them to do. Their whole thing got put on hold because their team that they were feuding with got injured.
I know.
Okay.
I just think that House of Black, when Brody debuted, I think a stronger thing would have been to just have them run roughshod and not lose pretty early on.
I don't think they did lose.
They have multiple losses as a team, I believe.
The House of Black?
No. Brody and Malachi. They had losses.
I don't remember them losing. Maybe. I don't remember them losing.
I'm pretty sure they have losses.
I guess, but again, everybody, you said it yourself, you don't need everybody having an undefeated streak. You don't want Jade to have an undefeated streak. I don't need that.
Hers is 2 years now at this point.
It's a year. She debuted last year.
Okay. Over a year.
And it's 30 matches. It's not like she's 140.
Okay. House of Black have been a thing for not even half a year. Brody debuted in January.
No, I'm trying to see if they lost.
Pretty sure they lost to the Varsity Blondes.
I don't think the Varsity Blondes beat them. Loss record. Malachi Black has 3 losses.
Yeah, and one of them's Cody. Or you mean this year?
I don't know. No, not this year. He definitely hasn't lost it this year. Or he hasn't lost 3 matches.
I was going to say, I don't think he's had singles matches this year.
No, I'm curious. Defeat. Where is his losses? Okay. Okay, so his 3 losses in AEW.
Okay.
Cody Rhodes singles match.
Yeah.
Cody Rhodes and Pac beat Andrade and him, but Andrade got pinned.
Yeah.
And then Penta and Pac beat them on February 23rd. With Brody taking the pin.
Okay.
So Malachi has still only been pinned once. Brody King I think, has also only been pinned once.
Okay.
And they lost to the people they're feuding with.
That's pretty early on in their feud.
This was like right after Phoenix went down with his injury.
Okay.
Yeah, the Varsity Blondes never beat them.
Okay.
So
that's just strange that Brody would debut and he'd eat a loss that quickly. Like they weren't wrestling weekly.
Their debut match was January 19th. They beat Brian Pillman and Griff Garrison.
Okay.
February 2nd, they beat Pac and Penta. And then 2 weeks later, Penta Oscuro debuted with the new gimmick, and that's when they beat them.
Okay.
And then House of Black won at Revolution.
Yeah.
And then they haven't faced since, so they're facing again now.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's the breakdown for House of Black and Death Triangle. We move on to Wardlow versus MJF. And we do have 2 people who've gone for MJF here.
Yep.
That is Sam and Jake. It's a shame they're not here. I would love to hear the reasoning behind this. But also, to be fair,
neither of them watch.
Sam, I think, keeps up with it.
I do not think so.
I think he knows the particulars. I don't think Jake knows what's going on.
No.
I don't think he knows why they're fighting.
Yeah.
I think Sam could at least probably figure this out or did the slightest bit of research.
I don't know. He was pretty quick on that submission. I'm pretty sure he was the first person to submit.
I don't know. To be fair, I can see the logic behind MJF's, considering his last feud was Punk, and he lost big time at Revolution, and he lost to Jericho at All Out. So, and who did he face? Was he on Full Gear? And he beat Darby at Full Gear. Because he beat him with the headlock takeover.
Yeah.
So.
But he beat Punk and Jericho before that. That's their first match.
But he hasn't beat Wardlow.
He hasn't faced Wardlow.
Yeah. But I don't know. My thing is,
the stipulation is if Wardlow loses, he cannot sign with AEW.
So I feel like Wardlow wins here. The feud probably continues into the summer.
Yeah.
But I feel like this is where Wardlow wins. We get Tony tweeting out the All Elite graphic.
Yeah.
And then whenever he shows up on TV, I guess he has new music, new stuff.
As I said, the only way Wardlow is losing is if he is signing to WWE.
I don't think his contract's up.
Well, is he signed
to the company? Yeah, in kayfabe he's not signed.
I wasn't sure if it was a per appearance thing like Kiera, Sky.
He's been with the company since they debuted. He had vignettes since the.
That doesn't mean you're signed.
He's signed.
If he's with the company the whole time, again, the 3 years is up. So
yeah, it does not seem like Wardlow's going anywhere.
That's why I said the only way he's losing is like you're not gonna be like, oh, he lost. All right, man, you can't sign with AEW, but you're just gonna keep on showing up for months to continue this feud. That would be very silly.
True. Our Owen Hart finals for the men and women. Our finals have we have the couple in the finals. We have Adam Cole and Britt Baker taking on Samoa Joe and Ruby Soho, respectively. We'll do Ruby and Britt first. It's out of order, but just because you and me agree on that one. Jake's on an island a lot. Jesus Christ. Yeah. He's either having a really good night or a bad one.
Yeah.
He has chosen Britt Baker to win. The rest of us, every single other person has gone for Ruby, which I genuinely was not expecting.
I wasn't either. I thought I was going to be on an island with this.
I think that there's, some precedent that they're going to give this to Cole and Britt as the couple to win. I don't think anybody wants it.
They don't need they don't need multiple couples.
No. But to be fair, they've only been on screen together twice.
Yeah, but if they do this, then they would
But they're also heels.
Yeah, that's so.
I'm not saying
I don't need multiple couples, is what I'm saying.
No, but again, they've appeared before and they were fine.
Yeah.
If anything, I think it would just be a segment where they acknowledge that they won together.
Mm.
The story for Ruby versus Britt, is obviously they main evented Arthur Ashe last year for the AEW Women's Championship. Britt cheated to win. Ruby is now coming to get her revenge. So I feel like it makes sense for Ruby to win this. And then, you can set up Statlander and Ruby to feud over the next few weeks or months, I guess, as a secondary feud. Since Ruby beat her in the finals.
And got very heel reactions for it.
Which made no sense. The crowd just absolutely turned on it. She didn't do anything heel.
No, I just think it was the storytelling for Chris was just so much better. Like, they gave her this huge babyface promo about how she's like the forgotten woman. She's been here since the beginning. All her friends have turned their backs on her, and she has nothing to show for all her gains.
I'd say yeah, but like at the same time, she was a replacement in the tournament for Sheeta. It's not like she was supposed to be in this to begin with.
Well, that's what she pointed out, was that that's why she claims she's the forgotten woman on the rosters.
I guess so. Like, I mean, there wasn't really a spot for her in the tournament elsewhere. So,
could have taken Red Velvet's place.
No, but they wanted to have because they've clearly set up the seeds for Chris and Jade down the line.
Yeah. So
that you needed Red Velvet there to,
Have Chris and Jade not faced each other already?
No.
Okay.
That's a fresh match.
Okay.
So I don't think Statlander's going to go heel. I think this would probably be a babyface versus babyface thing.
Yeah, I was gonna say if they turn Chris heel, this is just even more baffling booking for the whole Chris Statlander situation. Like, originally, it was her, Red, and Layla. Layla turned.
Yeah.
And then Red Velvet just turned out of nowhere. And then they changed Statlander.
You're going out of order. It was...
Layla turned first.
Layla turned. Then Chris changed her look and came back with this new serious thing. Then Red Velvet randomly joined the baddies.
Okay.
And then we got, her just saying that she changed her friends.
Yeah.
And was never really friends with Chris.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Yeah, I just think Ruby should win. That just makes sense.
Yeah. I also think that, spoiler alert, I am going with the two people who haven't won anything in this company, because I think it represents what Owen did. Because Owen didn't win anything major in WWE or any company. And
oh, okay. No, I thought you picked somebody else for the other one.
Nope.
Okay. He's a champion, buddy.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
So I went with the two people who... Because I think the one mistake that they did in this tournament was I think the final should have been two people that represented Owen a little bit better. Like, as a technical, gifted wrestler.
Yeah, I think ideally for me, your finals for the men probably would have been Kyle O'Reilly versus Dax.
Yes.
And I think for the women, it should have been Tony versus Chris.
Yeah. Honestly, I would have...
Or Sheeta if Sheeta was in.
Yeah, I thought the other thing you could have done is had Cash and Dax as your final.
Yeah, but...
And I feel like giving them that would be phenomenal. And have one as Brett, one as Owen.
That would have been fine. But I was also very happy to get to see that match in person, which I wouldn't have been able to do. Yeah,
that's fair.
So, thank you, AEW, for continually coming to Philly.
And then also, I mean, I think a lot of people said, like, Jeff and Darby was a good match, but that shouldn't have been in the tournament.
That was crazy.
It was a crazy match, but that had nothing to do with what Owen Hart stood for or anything like that.
It's whatever. They wanted to give everybody...
And why were they just like, oh yeah, we're having this tournament. Oh, by the way, Jeff can choose what type of match they have randomly.
The reason I'm okay with excusing that is because Jeff Hardy's not going to have many big singles matches in this company. Yeah. They wanted to do Darby versus Jeff all they can and do it at a high level.
Yeah.
I'll excuse that just so they could deliver that. But that sends us into the Owen Hart's Men tournament. Ryan, you can explain why you chose Adam Cole.
Again, Cole hasn't won anything, and I think he can be like this weird winner of being like, oh, I've won this, I'm the only one to win this, so like I'm a one of one kind of guy. Like I've done something that Kenny hasn't done. I've done something that Paige hasn't done. Like nobody can top this for a year, and next year he can go and try to win it again. Okay. I think it fits his character arc of just being insane and thinking he's the greatest in the world, even without having titles or winning big matches. He can go on this tear of just being like, oh, I've got this. Plus, I think I've said to you, Joe is going to need challengers, and I think we're both under the agreement that Jay Lethal is not going to beat Samoa Joe down the line.
Mm-hmm.
I think it'd be a little silly for him to lose it with his first big title feud. So him versus Cole for the title for ROH would be cool, because they both have pretty long histories with ROH.
Ryan is not alone in his pick with Adam Cole. The other people who've chosen Adam are Joey and Jake. So the three of you have Adam Cole. The rest of us have Samoa Joe.
What's your reasoning?
I just think you keep Joe strong.
Okay.
You give it to Joe. Kind of elevates the TV title a bit. Has him go and win the tournament. And then, again, you already have the challenger set for Jay, so I don't know when they would go to Cole, or if Cole would skip the line, or if you do a three-way. But I think just focus on Jay and Joe for now. But also,
I mean,
I don't think Joe's holding this title long. I think because I do think that there are going to be titles on the line at Forbidden Door, and I do think titles are going to change hands. The TV titles one, I think, can go. I think that Joe could drop it to somebody in New Japan, and I think the Never or the U.S. belt can get swapped to AEW.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think it really just depends on if and when Ring of Honor actually get a deal.
Mm-hmm.
If there's a deal imminent that they're going to start like in the fall, then I don't think maybe they'd do that.
No, there's no restrictions for the borders. People can come and go now, so it's back to normal.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know what New Japan has in October. Would that be World Tag League?
No, World Tag League's at the end of the year.
Okay.
So yeah, and again, they can spare people, and I'm sure with the talent exchanges we're seeing, I'm sure World Tag League is going to have people from AEW and Impact now, so they can afford to change. And to be fair, I do also think that the IWGP titles are coming to AEW. I think FTR winning them.
Oh, the tag titles. Yeah.
Thought they're beating Okada.
No. I thought you meant like all of the IWGP titles are coming to AEW. I was like, so they're burying a second company.
Yeah. Elite versus Delete, the second dream match of this, Young Bucks Hardys thing after they faced at Supercard of Honor years ago.
Yeah.
This is a little. There's more people that chose the Hardy Brothers than I expected. Meaning there's two. Choo Choo and Jake. Rob and Jake have gone for the Hardy Brothers. Everybody else has gone for the Young Bucks.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't see the Hardys needing a win.
I don't either. It's so interesting because I don't. Again,
so
much hinges on Forbidden Door what that card's gonna look like, because I'd assume Young Bucks are featured prominently on there, but they have already done a whole promo video with the Hardys talking about the Forbidden Door.
Yeah.
So they're gonna be on that show. I would have to assume. I don't know who the fuck they face. There's no dream match for me with them with New Japan talents. So I really don't know. But I have a feeling they're going to be on that show. So you could theoretically have them win here. It all depends on what you're doing with the Bucks, because I think you could do some type of big tag match with the Bucks, Cole, and Jay.
Yeah.
Or the Bucks and Jay, or Jay and Cole. Again, we really don't know. A lot of this, the big thing that this also hinges on, aside from the Forbidden Door card, is who walks out of this show as AEW World Champion, and who walks out of Dominion as champion, because Punk winning could change things, Hangman winning could change things, Okada winning could change things, and Jay winning could change things for where these people land on the card. If Okada's not IWGP champion, he could theoretically be challenging a CM Punk for the AEW World Championship, or he could be tagging with people in Chaos. If Jay's not world champion, he could be tagging with Undisputed Elite. Hangman, if he's not champion, if he's not the champion, could be having an exhibition match with Tanahashi, since they've had history before. There's a lot of open-ended questions here.
Yeah.
So I have no idea, and that's kind of where a lot of this lies.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I think I don't remember the promo about the Forbidden Door and the Hardys.
It's just one that they've released online. The people that are promoting the show are the Hardy Brothers, Danielson,
okay. Danielson, I think
Hangman,
that there's
and the Punk, I believe.
Danielson and Blackpool Combat Club, not Comic Club. I was gonna say.
Jericho.
Yeah, I know. I thought that was such a good line. It just stuck with me. But I think them going against Suzuki Gun of some sort, whether it be...
It feels like you have to do Danielson and Sabre in some capacity.
Right. And you can leave it open-ended.
We'll see. Again, I think
for a singles match.
Which I think you could probably see in the G1. You have Yuta representing BCC in the Best of Super Juniors. I think Danielson goes over for G1. And theoretically, you could have Zach and him main event one of the nights.
Yeah.
That wouldn't be the finals. I don't think they'd have either guy win.
No.
So, we'll see.
But yeah, I just can't think of a tag... Because clearly, Okan and...
That's going to be a three-way, I think. Unless they make it a four-way where it's Hardy.
See, I was thinking something different. I was thinking this could be a gauntlet match. Because they've done gauntlets in the past at Wrestle Kingdom.
Well, the Hardys could be in that.
Right,
okay.
Yeah.
You could do that, or you could just do a four-way.
Yeah.
Hardy's, Roppongi Vice. No, because that doesn't work out for four. Because it's going to be Roppongi Vice, Great Okan. So it's going to be a four-way regardless. So it would have to be a gauntlet if you're doing that. Because it's going to be Roppongi, FTR, United Empire, Bullet Club.
Right. Because the Good Brothers have the titles, right? Unless they lose it at Dominion.
Not the Good Brothers. Bad Luck Follow.
Oh God.
Unless United Empire wins, and then we just do a three-way. So I have no idea. A lot of this is very open-ended on this show and Dominion.
Yeah.
Which is on June 12th. So we'll see.
Yeah.
The AEW World Tag Team titles are on the line, and you're also probably gonna need to have these guys. Whoever wins this probably facing a team as well.
The AEW titles.
Yeah. So. I don't know. I'm really hoping they don't just make this show champion versus champion. I don't want that. I want title matches.
Yeah.
So.
Well, they've said that it's going to be like competitive and not like Bart, the president, has said that's not like what happened with Noah.
Yeah.
So that is
because their relationship with AEW is much stronger than Noah.
Yeah, and they've kind of hinted that this is going to be like a yearly thing.
Yeah. So we'll see,
or at least a more regular thing.
We have a triple threat here with Jurassic Express, Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus. They're no longer Jurassic Express. Defending the AEW Tag Team titles against Team Taz.
It's JBL versus Team Taz versus...
JBL. Oh, Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus.
Yeah. That's what they're known on as in the Indies, was JBL.
Gotcha.
Come on. Do your history.
Starks and Hobbs and Swerve in Our Glory. Keith Lee and Swerve Strickland.
I didn't know they had a name.
Yes. Split. Thank God we have finally some splits here, no longer island picks. Because the rest of the show is kind of looking not as split. So a lot of this is going to come down to the bonus points and the lottery.
Yeah.
Because a lot of us went very similar on these picks today.
Yeah.
So the people going for Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus are Sam and Jake. Mm-hmm. Team Taz is Joey, Ryan, and myself and Angelo. Swerve in Our Glory has been chosen by Rob.
So Rob's on island.
Rob is on island. Yeah, I just think Team Taz. I think the story here: Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus lose. Christian turns on Jungle Boy. You get Jungle Boy and Christian for the summer.
Yep.
Team Taz win the titles, and then you have a feud with Swerve in Our Glory in them. Makes sense. They've been, going at it for a bit. And I guess theoretically you could eventually put the titles on Keith and Swerve, or you split them up. But I think Starks and Hobbs should get the titles here.
Yeah, I think that Starks has been fantastic the past year and a half.
Mm-hmm.
Hobbs has been great whenever he's in the ring.
Mm-hmm.
Reward them because they're the most cohesive team right now out of these three. Like Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus are very cohesive, but the fact that Christian kind of has been throwing shade at Jungle Boy of late seems like, something could happen between them. Jungle Boy's been out of sorts, not very confident of late as well. So, yeah, give it to the guys who are super confident and actually been a tag team for more than a month.
Yeah. Makes sense to me. That sends us into our final 3 matches here. We have the Anarchy in the Arena match, which is this year's Stadium Stampede. As Jericho branded. It makes sense that he was the one to brand those since, again, sports entertainers.
Yeah.
I'm happy. I'm not on an island with this. Somebody did also choose the JAS here to get the win. And it's Sam. Me and Sam have gone for the greatest faction in pro wrestling history.
Sports entertainment history.
Sports entertainment history, led by the Wizard, Chris Jericho, Daniel Garcia, Jake Hager, Cool Hand Ange, Angelo Parker, and Daddy Magic, Matt Menard. I think they need the win more than Blackpool Combat Club. I think they've also set the stage for them stealing the win here. Danielson selling an injury. Danielson does not like Eddie Kingston. In the promo section of their clip for the Countdown special, Danielson specifically states between Chris Jericho and Eddie Kingston, he likes Chris Jericho better. I think they've also potentially planted the seeds for down the line when this feud ends. Danielson fully turns on this group and could go to Jericho's group if they wanted to go that route. There's a lot of ways you can go with this. Or Danielson stays.
That makes 0 sense.
I mean, he's the heel of the group. He's the heel of Black.
But he's the one who brought Regal into the group.
Yeah, but
that would make no sense to form a group and then be like, "Yep, I'm gonna go over to these guys. I don't want to be a fighter anymore. I want to be a sports entertainer."
There's a way to do it. He doesn't like Kingston. You can say that Moxley.
Kingston's not part of the group.
I mean, he's associated with them now.
Yeah, but that doesn't make you part of that Blackpool Combat Club.
I mean, they could become part of the group. So we'll see. Regardless, I think JAS win here, and I think we go to Blood and Guts. And either you have Danielson turn on the group, or Blackpool Combat Club wins that. But I think JAS win this regardless. So that's why I chose them. I think they need to win more. Daniel Garcia and 2.0, this is their first pay-per-view.
Yeah.
And also, BCC isn't fully here. They don't have Wheeler Yuta. So they're teaming with people they're not used to, besides Kingston and Moxley. But you have Proud and Powerful who are there. They don't have any association with Moxley and Danielson. Danielson, again, does not
It's a 5-person match. It's not like it... I mean, we don't know what this match is going to be,
It's going to be Stadium Stampede in the arena. They're probably just going to go around the whole arena brawling. It's going to be...
Well, then you don't need tag team. Working together doesn't mean anything. Because you're just going to be splintered off everywhere.
Yeah, but you have JAS who actively like each other and are working as a cohesive unit.
But you're not going to have there's not going to be or maybe there will be, where all 5 are going against 4 or 3 of them.
Or you have something where it comes down to Eddie Kingston in the ring and, Danielson doesn't help him because he doesn't like him. Or vice versa. Kingston doesn't help him. They're both stubborn people.
We'll see.
So I've gone for
it depends on what the rules of this match even are.
I just think it's no DQ.
Well, then it's not like it.
No, it has knocked over our bowl of change.
Yeah.
The AEW Women's World Championship is on the line. The one match on the pay-per-view that we all agree with, Thunder Rosa wins. I just think it's her first big defense.
Yeah.
It just makes sense that she wins here.
Yeah.
And that sends us to the main event. The AEW World Championship is on the line in arguably one of the biggest probably the biggest match in terms of, this Punk returning and challenging for the world title. Obviously, Omega and Hangman was big for people following that story. But for just outsiders looking in, this is probably the biggest AEW World Title match, with CM Punk challenging for the first World Title match, I guess, since he left WWE.
Mm-hmm.
So, we do have 2 people who have gone for Hangman Page, Sam and Angelo. I did come close to switching my vote to Hangman. I've been saying for a while that I think Punk wins this because I think they want him walking into Chicago both times as AEW World Champion, meaning Forbidden Door and All Out.
If they have All Out in Chicago.
It's going to be in Chicago. They're not going to pull that. That's been a regular staple. I just think, they need... All Out needs something big because All Out did their biggest pay-per-view buy last year ever.
Yeah. Well, I mean, haven't they all gone up?
But that show was the return of CM Punk for the first time in 7 years and was also a loaded card.
Yeah.
So you're going to need something to try and top that. because that's still their best pay-per-view sold to date. That beat Full Gear, that beat Revolution this year. So trying to get All Out, if you want to top it, last year's All Out, you need some big main event, and I think Punk in the main event defending the title against, I don't know, but if Omega's back, you could do Punk versus Omega. Punk versus Danielson's another big one. Punk versus Moxley. Punk versus Hangman 2. You have a lot of options, but I think Punk needs to be in the main event of All Out. Yeah. So that all put together, and the story they're telling, I've gone for CM Punk, and I do not think we will be seeing babyface CM Punk for a while. I think that.
You think he goes fully heel?
I think he either goes fully heel here or he goes fully heel in the weeks to come.
Yeah.
But I feel like you should do it on the pay-per-view to get people's intrigue going, because if you do a really big heel turn, that'll turn people's heads. You'll get people talking online, and you can get clips posted to YouTube, and people will see it.
Yeah.
I've gone for CM Punk, which I can't say. I know some people are disappointed in Hangman's reign. I don't really get that necessarily. Match quality, I think he's had an absolutely phenomenal thing. The two matches with Danielson turned the guy into a bona fide star if he wasn't already. A great title defense against Lance Archer. 2 really good title defenses against Adam Cole. A solid little one that I think a lot of people forgot about against Dante Martin on TV.
I don't even remember that.
And then non-title match recently against Konosuke Takeshita. So I'm not upset with Hangman's reign. And again, Hangman's young. He's one of the future star, or not future. He's one of the young guys in the company that they can build around for years. If he loses here, I think there's a very strong possibility he is probably the first multi-time world champ.
Yeah. I think at least in my opinion, the reason that I felt like Paige's reign has kind of been like not as high as I thought it would be was just some of his promo work has been meh.
That's fair.
His character development has been all over the place throughout it. Match quality, I agree, it's been fantastic. Mm-hmm. But compared to Kenny's fantastically awful. Like, he was just an awful person.
Oh, I was like awful.
No. He was just awful. Like, he had a defined character.
Yeah, and
Moxley had a defined character. Jericho had a defined character.
I would put Hangman's reign over Jericho's.
Yes, 100%.
But I don't think his reign beats Moxley or Omega.
No. It's just, again, it's just been very weirdly booked, character-wise, where, he needed his friends, he needed the Dark Order, and then once he kind of started on the train of, I'm going to go after Danielson and all that, it was just, all right, Danielson beat all you guys up. Cool. I'm going to just kind of have you guys way in the background. Extremely far in the background. You're not even here anymore. And I think that kind of turned a lot of people away from it because it was like, are we going to get something out of this? Do we really need another, I
think that's where Cal upstairs.
Gotcha. Do we need another redemption arc again with him trying to bring back get back in the good graces of the Dark Order again when we just had this last summer? So I think Punk is smart here. I also agree that I think we get heel Punk here. And I also agree that while I don't think you need it for him to be world champ for Forbidden Door because that already sold out and it's already going to get a lot of eyes on the product, I do think having him as champ going into All Out would be very good.
Yeah.
It's just, who does he face? I don't think you're going to get a rematch. I don't think we're getting him versus Omega there.
I wouldn't rule out a rematch. I don't think this story's done and over with.
No, but I think you've got so many months of the summer that you're gonna.
Depends on what you do with the angle of him turning heel. If you do an injury angle where he takes out Hangman and brutalizes him, you can write him off. Hangman comes back and has to work his way back.
I don't think you're gonna have Hangman off for Forbidden Door.
If you know this isn't a one-time thing, you could.
Yeah.
If you know that you're doing another Forbidden Door, Hangman missing this doesn't, for the sake of storytelling.
I just think star power wise, you'd need to have him on there for like a singles match.
Dude, look at AEW's roster. They don't. If Hangman misses it, it's not the end of the world.
What other major singles star could you have that's on the level of somebody in New Japan?
You can give Malachi Black a singles match.
He's not a singles star. Right now, character wise, no.
Because he hasn't been having singles matches.
Right.
Literally, you put him. He has one singles loss. So he was one of the big stars last year.
That doesn't make you a singles star.
If you put Malachi Black in a singles match,
it would be very weird if they were just like, hey,
you have Danielson, Moxley. If Omega's back, Cole. You have Punk. You have. You can put Keith Lee in a big singles match. The guy is massively over as a singles guy. Swerve is very over as a singles guy. You can put Jungle Boy in a singles match, especially if Christian turns on him. You can put Christian in a singles match if he goes solo.
I don't think Christian's a single star.
Christian's a legend.
That doesn't make you a single star.
He main evented the pay-per-view last year. Their biggest
then he stopped wrestling.
That doesn't mean he's not a single. You're saying Christian Cage has name value.
Yes, he has name value, but I wouldn't put him on the level of any big name in New Japan.
I disagree with that. Christian Cage is probably a bigger name than anybody in New Japan.
You think he's a bigger name than Okada?
For non-New Japan fans? Yeah, 100%.
Do you think Christian Cage versus Okada
would sell
more because of Christian Cage or because of Okada?
No, but you're taking this in a completely different direction.
No, I'm not. I'm saying
Hangman Page, if he's not on the show because you do an injury angle, not a big deal, not the end of the world. You said it yourself, show's sold out. Show doesn't get hurt. You're doing a big story where CM Punk goes heel, injures the guy. He misses the show.
It would be very weird to have somebody who's the top star in your company, the face of your company since November of probably earlier.
Again.
And just be like, we're not having him on the show.
You're being way too defensive. I'm saying...
How is that defensive? That's me asking you a question.
Because you're talking to me like I'm dumb. I'm saying...
I'm not talking to you like you're dumb.
I'm saying if you do an injury angle, it makes sense. You have Punk have this massive heel thing where he takes out the top guy for months.
Okay.
What's hard to understand about that?
Because I don't think that would be a smart business decision.
Hangman not being on the pay-per-view is not going to hurt it. People aren't buying the show because Hangman Page is there. They're buying it because it's AEW versus New Japan for the first time ever. Yeah. Anyways, tiebreaker. For how long will CM Punk versus Hangman Page go? Sam has gone for 21 minutes and 2 seconds. Joey has gone 20 minutes even. Ryan, you've gone 25-25. Rob has gone 23:01. Jake has gone 21 even. I've gone 23:45. Angela has gone 26:44. Our bonus questions for the pay-per-view, we have, will there be any debuts on the show? Sam has gone yes. Joey's gone no. Ryan's gone no. Rob's gone yes. Jake's gone yes. I've gone yes. Angela's gone no.
Who do you have debuting?
Or sorry, Joey's gone yes. I'm sorry.
Who do you think would debut?
Anybody from New Japan who's not appeared. That counts as a debut.
Okay, but do you have somebody in mind?
No, not really. Okada.
Where the fuck would he fit in?
Comes out and challenges, just appears on the show, says I'm going to be at Forbidden Door, makes a big announcement. Again, literally anybody who's not one of the dads, Ishii, Great Khan, Jeff Cobb.
Ishii's already, who haven't. No.
You have pretty much the majority of New Japan's roster. Anybody could show up and it would count as a debut.
I just don't see where they'd fit in.
I don't know. I just feel like the fact that you did an invasion angle this past week with Great Khan and Jeff Cobb showing up out of nowhere, I feel like you're going to follow it up since the pay-per-view's 3-4 weeks away. Bonus point number 2. Will Hangman Page or CM Punk fully turn heel during or after the World Championship match? Sam has gone for no. Joey's gone no. Ryan's gone yes. Rob's gone no. Jake's gone yes. I've gone yes. Angela's gone no. Bonus point number 3. Will there be any announcement regarding AEW and New Japan's Forbidden Door pay-per-view? Sam's gone yes. Joey's gone yes. Ryan's gone yes. Rob's gone yes. Jake's gone no. I've gone no. Angela's gone yes. I think somebody shows up. I don't think they have anything to announce yet.
I think they'll just announce like the main, not the main event, but that whoever's the champion after tonight will go into Forbidden Door against something.
Again, I don't think they can't announce that match until Dominion happens, I think, of who's facing who. Because you're not going to announce, like, if Punk wins the title and you're doing Punk versus Okada, and Okada's not champ because he loses to Jay, you're not going to announce...
Well, if you just say, like, the two champions are going to have a non-title match against each other.
I would kill myself.
Why?
I don't want the two world champions facing off and somebody has to lose. Because then you're getting into, like, why did this person have to lose? That's why I want the titles to be on the line. Or do tag matches for the title, or the champions, like world champs. I don't like champion versus champion when there's no point. Will there be tables, ladders, and chairs involved in the Hardys versus Young Bucks match? Every single person has said yes. I feel like that's a given.
I put yes. I don't know how they work it into it since it's a DQ.
You can climb a ladder and jump off of it. That's not a DQ. It's if you hit somebody with a ladder. Yeah. Also, AEW is pretty lax with rules. Will there be any returns during the pay-per-view?
Wait, I wouldn't say they're lax with rules. I can't think of matches where they just bring in weapons and don't care.
It's not like weapons, but like
people going through tables, yeah.
People going through tables, people getting in the ring and just beating somebody down and not like doing a 5 count to get them out of the ring.
Oh yeah.
Will there be any returns during the pay-per-view? Angelo has gone for yes, and Jake has gone for yes. The rest of us have gone for no. And will there be any New Japan talent appearing on the show? And we have Sam going no, Joey going yes, Ryan going yes, Rob going no, Jake and me going yes, Angelo going no. You said yes. Who do you think shows up, since you asked me? I
think that either Okan and Cobb show up again. And I think they could have a face-off with whoever wins the AEW Tag Championships at the end. Again, going into this whole thing where I think a gauntlet match is going to happen for the tag titles. And I think that Jay White can show up. And if Cole ends up winning, him and Cole celebrate.
Okay. Yeah, you could also do something where Jay helps Cole win over Samoa Joe. Yeah, fair enough. Double or Nothing is tomorrow.
Do you want to do the lottery real quick?
Yeah, Double or Nothing's tomorrow. We will have our review out for the show coming out on Monday. So keep your eyes peeled to the YouTube channel and the podcast feed. And Ryan will take over with the lottery picks.
Cool. If you haven't listened to our podcast before, for predictions, we always do a lottery. It's basically just another way to get free points. Whoever is the champion gets a bonus person. So everybody has 2 people except the champ. The champ has 3. Angelo has Samoa Joe, CM Punk, and the Hardys. So if any of them win, he gets an extra point. I have Wardlow and Serena Deeb. Rob has Thunder Rosa and Hangman Page. Pat has Swerve and Keith Lee, as well as MJF. Joey has Team Taz and Jurassic Express. Sam has Ruby Soho and Adam Cole. And Jake has Britt Baker and the Young Bucks.
Yeah. So yeah, that's Double or Nothing. Thanks for tuning into the podcast. We will talk to you guys in the next episode, which will be our Double or Nothing review. And stay tuned as I get more stuff out for Best of the Super Juniors as we head into the final week of the tournament with nights 11 and 12, which is the block finals. I believe that's on Tuesday. And then the actual finals for Best of Super Juniors are on Friday, which is June 3rd. And I, of course, will have a full review out for that, which will be me also recapping the tournament, giving my favorite matches and final thoughts. So stay tuned. We appreciate the support. And don't forget to subscribe, like, review, comment, wherever you are. We appreciate it. So until next time, thank you and goodbye.